Have you ever tested your personality? Understanding personality science is the key to optimizing your behavior and getting to know yourself even better. You can also use science of personality to be a better people person and figure out how those around you want to be treated. If you want to learn more about science of personality, continue watching this video and become the most likable person in the room. You might be wondering why. Why do I even need to know this? Well, good question. Why should you even study people skills? Research has found that people with a better likability have had more opportunities in life, work, socially, and more. And what have you been doing wrong? Well, we tend to fill our resumes with technical skills. And although technical skills are important, they aren't the only things we should be studying. PQ is just as important as IQ. People skills are just as important as your technical skills. Wait a sec, back up. Personality can be studied? Yes, you can study personality just like you study any other skill in your life. Researchers have found that there's actually a science to personality, and it's made up of 5 basic traits. So, yes, there are only 5 main basic traits, and they can be fit into the acronym OCEAN, in case you want to remember them off your head. OCEAN stands for openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. We're going to go into the details of these right now, but at the end of each one, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. If you tend to agree to these statements, then you're probably rated high in this personality trait. If you disagree with these statements, then you probably rate low in the personality trait. You can also be in the middle if you rate with half or not with the others. 1. Openness. Openness is how imaginative or curious you are. Openness is when someone is curious and open-minded to new experiences and knowledge. People who rate high in openness are inventive and curious. People who rate low in openness are consistent and cautious. Here are the 3 statements that you can agree or disagree to. 1. I love adventure. I am the best imaginative person. I am the first to try new activities. Do you agree or disagree to these statements? 2. Consciousness. Consciousness is how you approach details and plans. It describes how organized and dependable you are. People who rate high in consciousness are efficient and organized. People who rate low in consciousness are more easygoing and laid back. Do you agree or disagree with these statements? I'm highly self-disciplined. I am very organized and always come prepared, and I like to know the plan rather than it be spontaneous. 3. Extroversion. Extroversion is how you orient towards people and relationships in your life. It describes how you interact with people, and people who rate high in extroversion are outgoing and energetic, versus people who rate low in extroversion. They're more solitary and reserved. Do you agree or disagree with these statements? I am the life of the party. I don't mind being the center of attention. And I'm usually the one to start a conversation with someone. If you agreed, you probably rated high in extroversion. If you disagree, you probably rated low in extroversion. 4. Agreeableness. This is how friendly or agreeable you are. Agreeableness is how you feel towards others. People who rate high in agreeableness are friendly and compassionate. People who rate low in agreeableness are more analytical and detached. Do you agree or disagree with these statements? I tend to trust people and give them benefit of the doubt. I'm extremely empathetic. I like to make other people feel at ease. If you agreed, you probably rate high in agreeableness. But if you disagreed, you probably rated low in agreeableness. 5 is neuroticism. Neuroticism is how you deal with your emotions. People who rate high in neuroticism are sensitive and tend to be more nervous. People who rate low in neuroticism tend to be more secure and stable. Do you agree or disagree with these statements? I stress out easily. I tend to be moody, and I'm a worrier. If you agreed, you probably rated more higher neuroticism versus if you disagreed. Of course, you've heard of the golden rule treat others how you want to be treated. Well, I don't really agree with this because if a lot of people want to be treated different ways than you want to be treated, it's pretty hard to figure out what exactly to do. For example, if you really like being the center of attention, but then you get your friend and then you bring them to a party and your friend is an introvert, it's not going to be so great for them because that's really out of their comfort zone. And no one likes to be out of their comfort zone. So I prefer the platinum rule. Treat others how they want to be treated. If you do this, then people will really enjoy being with you and you will be considered way more likable. Use your skills and knowledge to treat others exactly how they want to be treated based on their personality and their personality traits. You can do this at work, at school, during your social life, professional life, and more. Use your knowledge of personality science to be everyone's favorite person in all areas of life by treating them exactly how they want to be treated based on their personality. For example, if your colleague is a low open, you want to communicate them ahead of time and on a regular basis. You also want to maybe set a tradition and allow private brainstorming time just for them. If your colleague, on the other hand, is high open, you want to give them time to explore and create. You want to provide them with a timeline and never let them feel boxed in. Partner with them on change initiatives to get really good results as well. For example, if your colleague is a low consciousness, you want to use project management tools that are more visual. You also want to spare them from too much information that they can't all comprehend at once. You also want to be really patient with them. They might not understand things or might not like a ton of work all at once. You need to be patient and teach them as they go. If your colleague is a high consciousness, you want to give them explicit direction and offer regular check-ins to figure out if they're doing things on the right track and let them stay on track. You also want to continue planning and provide overviews and agendas to set expectations for every single meeting or event. If your colleague is an introvert, don't force them on after hours participation and set aside a quiet place and also give them one-on-one time to explain them things and help them feel comfortable. If your colleague is an extrovert, encourage off-site lunches and partner with them on employee engagement activities. Also, make sure you set appropriate office boundaries so people aren't bothered by them as well. If your colleague is low agreeable, always give them data or other research to back up your opinion, and give them time to research your ideas. Brainstorming with them to tackle hard questions as well. If your colleague is high agreeable, put in a request over email and let them think about answering before responding, and then brainstorm with them for encouragement. If your colleague is in low neurotic, you want to turn to them when you want to keep your own peace because they'll be the relaxing person who tells you that it's all good. But then you need to push back on the it's all good when it's not really all good and champion and thank them for their security and contribution to the wellness of the team. If your colleague is a high neurotic, know what triggers them and their calmers too. Offer private feedback to them and capitalize their tendency to globalize patterns or problems. I hope you use what you learned today to help you be a better people person and be more likable in general. By knowing how people want to be treated, you are one step ahead than everyone else. Thank you. I hope you love this video. For more videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe to the Success Bistro.